So I'm always seem to feel like I'm at the seat of my pants. Anyway, I'm Brenda Power, Medicine Woman. This is Medicine Woman Solution. And my computer needed to restart, so I'm late, but that's no problem because we're all going to get together and do this. So I'm realigning myself up, and I don't like dead air, so I got to continue to talk. And as I do this, hello. Okay, so some of you are aware that I'm going to be doing a meditation today, and that's very important. We're going to talk about that. My lips look so pale all of a sudden, so just bear with me. I feel like a ghost. I bet you that's a sign. Everything's a sign. Okay. So Spirit has a lot to say, but Spirit has also a lot of things it wants to do during the meditation. And this is so important for you to understand that this meditation is that girl. That's cute. This meditation is about 11:11. So today at 1 p.m. my time, South Australia. And it doesn't matter when you do the video. It does not matter when you take and tune into Spirit and do your thing, okay? Because, time zones are different. So energetically, it is set up for you. It's set up for how you are wanting to do things in life. You just have to show up. Now, this is always there. This energy in this opening is always there. What we're doing is that when you're going to connect with me, Spirit has got me in this attunement, this alignment. And what I'm going to do is we're going to balance you, get you to connect up, get that pillar of light open, see if there's any issues. And then we're going to do it quickly. And you're thinking, well, how can you help me if I'm not going to do it live with you? Well, you can follow along in the steps. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. If some of you need extra correction, then you can always say, hey, I couldn't do the healing and all this other stuff. And I can give you a few minutes of my time. I'm not going to give you hours. It's not because you're not worth it, but it is about respecting and honoring me too, because there's so many people that need me and it gets a little confusing. So I don't know what's going on here with my hair, but we're going to make sure you get all these connections. So when you get that vibration, and then we're going to raise the vibration. As I raise that vibration by allowing me and Spirit to come and sync, and then to send out that tone. And then all of you have these beautiful vibrations and frequencies, and we're going to connect together, and we're just going to rise. We're going to raise that frequency. And then we're going to allow ourselves to call in the angels, to get tapped in, tuned in, and turned on to this ascension energy. And you will be hooking into your divine truth. A lot of you are like, well, I need to know my abilities. I need to know my truth. I need to know this. Well, in order to know what you need, you have to first let go of what you believe you have to have or what you are. So remember your personal reality. This reality is based on your personality. Most of our personalities are all conditioned from when we're little, and that's not good or bad. It's just that's how we chose as a soul to grow. Now you can choose a soul to resolve, to evolve. And as you do so, you can move into the direction that's going to help you in, the next stage. Sorry, my camera is crooked as ever over here. Resetting. You can see I didn't even clean my space. I just hurried up. Recentering. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get people in the room. Let's talk to them. Let's say hello to everybody. Let's notice that it's about these free readings. You'll always get a free reading. We're going to do something just a little different. And we're going to talk for a few minutes. So those that want to pay, you still can pay. Those that want to have a free read specific certain things, you can do it through email. But here's the thing. Spirit wants me to pick out certain things and look at it, to have a conversation. A lot of you are beginning to wake up with these new light codes. And a lot of you are going to start hopefully paying attention to the fact that you are going to have epiphanies. What is an epiphany? It's when you connect those dots and you're like, oh shit, I get it. I get it. And that's important that you get it. Why? Why is it important you get it? And Amy, if she unmutes herself, she's like, what? Why is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Why is it important that you get it?
It is important that you get it so that you can evolve.
Ah, now you would have swore you were evolved and you did this and you're awake, but you were able to take and look on a soul level with me being your soul coach. And what have you discovered and learned compared to who you were and where you are now?
Oh my gosh, I was barely awake. I mean, there's so many things that I've learned.
Oh, hold on. I gotta fix the volume. Shoot. No, come on. Okay, now you can talk.
Okay, start over?
Mm-mm. Just go ahead.
Okay. Just the last couple days, I've learned how to differentiate between myself and having someone else inside of me.
Wait, explain that.
We discovered that when my soon-to-be ex comes around, I absorb his energy.
Oh, how do you do that?
I don't know. It gets stuck in my immune system.
Ah, very good. Why? Well, first of all, how does it do that is very simple. Your immune system is always listening. People don't realize. You think, oh, it's just because I'm paranoid. No. Put all of your personality aside and take a look and just think for just a second. Your body is constantly in fight, flight, or freeze. No, it doesn't have to be. But the first, second, and third chakra is about survival. It's about consuming. It's about allowing yourself to go into a space where you can learn to be safe. That means you balance those. But until you balance those chakras go off, those level of consciousness with belief systems say to you, what do they say? They say, we will keep you safe. So they'll be going, Now you could be in an awesome environment. But if your condition is a little kid and all of a sudden you're like, you got scared when you were little, you're going to look, the sound of the wind. If you're used to tornadoes or floods, you think, oh God, they're just phobias. No, they're all connected. What if the tap water was running when mom and dad were fighting and you didn't know how to handle that because you've never seen mom and dad so angry? And if they can do that to themselves, they can do that to me. No, we can't have that happen. And so your body is looking. So it's got this, it's all of the sensory system. It's looking for color. It's looking for all of that. And it's trying to figure out what to do next. If that makes any sense to you. I'm trying to do two things at once. It's kind of funny. Any comments there, co-host? Don't leave me in the wind. Talk to me.
Talk to you?
Okay.
Yeah,
So anyways, the body, hold on. The body sits there, okay? We're going to learn this bip and bop. Our body, she didn't even know she was going to do this. She got put on the spot. Our body is constantly listening. Our immune system is listening. And if you're used to having terrorism and being terrorized or being frightful all the time, your immune system becomes that. So she has trained her body that every time her soon-to-be ex comes into space, she goes into a action and reaction. And so then she can create symptoms in the body. And without realizing it, she has, oh my God, I got to pay attention. And she becomes her ex. Literally, your energy is, I am this person. You don't realize it. I made her muscle test.
Don't realize it.
She came in with a headache. She didn't feel well. Something was going on. And she's like, I don't get it. And I don't feel well. I mean, she was clogged. She had a headache. Well, you can tell me all your symptoms.
Yeah, my head was clogged. I had a headache, a migraine, actually. My stomach was upset. And I'm like, I know there's something going on besides, the air pressure.
And she's used to now asking.
Mm-hmm.
She'll say, I can't get it.
Okay. I know.
And so then I look and I see that her name, she's not owning her name, her energy, or space. She morphed into being her soon-to-be ex. He's like, I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, well, I know you don't have a penis, so I'm assuming that you have to be somebody else. Mm-hmm. And so then I said, I taught her how to muscle test, and she's like, oh my God, the shock and horror on her face. How can I be somebody else? And very simply, she was thinking about it. She was focused on it. So you have focus and intent and fear and emotions. Remember, emotions and thoughts come together and it creates form. You may see it out here, but you don't realize what's all unknown in here, if that makes any sense. So what's important to understand is that she was sick. So I showed her how to kick him out, how to change the frequency. And then she had to heal why she just morphed into this person. Mm-hmm. So she's got to learn how to hold her own, because in that moment, she always kept losing power. When you can't tolerate somebody, when you can't feel right about, the situation, or you constantly are thinking about, what the hell did they just say? Oh, I could have done it better. I could have said something. And these are all of these clues that says to you, you have developed yourself. You have to develop yourself. It's not about blaming the other person. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So,
it sure does.
What was the original question? The original question was, how did you know that you grew from the time of June till now? And you were shocked about that one.
Yeah, I was very shocked about that one. But I started diving into different things that I wouldn't have back in June. Like, I'm diving into tapping and or EFT, and I love Gaia. Oh my God.
And
I wish everybody could get Gaia.
It is the station like Netflix, but this is all about spirituality. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I was watching one show today about they're called extra dimensionals, not extraterrestrials, extra dimensionals.
And what does that mean?
I mean, we aren't from this planet.
No, this is a way station. You're right. Mm-hmm. This is just an illusion. It's a hologram. It's not even. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I feel different. I feel better.
Okay, so how does she know she's grown? Well, first of all, she has learned from me that, as I bitch in my head, oh, wait, that's a clue. Correct? You just don't walk around and bitch in your head. And then her personality of, okay, well, I got to always be there for people all the time. And you realize, isn't that the right thing to do? Isn't that the moralistic thing to do? Isn't that? And I said, is that right for you? Are you losing power? Have you traded yourself out for what? And there's
exactly.
And then you're like, wait, what? And I said, your body keeps telling you that you keep doing something that you're losing power to. And so she's beginning to get it, that when she goes over and puts up with something. Now, there is some things that you need to do, but there is, why is your soul causing you to be in a relationship that's less than love? Why? And I'm not talking about just the men and her, the man. I'm talking about friendships and things. You get tired when you begin to grow. You don't sit there and want to have to listen for somebody that cries 24/7. There's nothing wrong with being there for somebody. But when you start to be there for yourself and the tools are working and you try to give those tools to somebody and they don't get it, you have to show yourself that you're out of sync. You either go backwards or you keep evolving, and they have to grow with you or they can disappear. I mean, you zig, they zag. I mean, people do it all the time. It's not like you are intentionally being mean. That's not the story. Just breathing through. So the thing is, again, spirit wants to do things differently. I'm trying to figure out how to become more organized, and this is just the steps. Now, people say, well, shouldn't you get your shit together before you go? No, we're showing you how messy it can be, or you can show you how an organized chaos can look like. You don't have to go to the ego and run to the end of your timeline and just blow your top, get confused, lost, go into panic, or go into an arrested development. Now, I'm trying to do several things at once, and you feel my energy being spaced. How many people have you been around that you want to be around them, but they're like, oh my God, and they're not with you. They're not present. And when you're present with somebody, it's a whole different feeling, isn't it, Aim?
Oh, it is.
And if you're the only one that's doing the present and other people are not, that's what's called an I-it relationship. You're trying so hard to make connections, but they only see you as an it. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah, and to wake you guys up, I've had some friends that have been on this journey with me, but they haven't really been with my classes, or they don't do the one-on-ones, and they don't quite get what I'm saying because they think that they need to go through that struggle. And I said, no, suffering is an option. You're hardwired for joy, and it's time to get you back to that. And sometimes we have to unwind this particular hell that we put ourselves through. What do I mean by particular hells? Anybody out there have any idea what I mean? I would like to hear your comments, because, it's important to understand when I say particular hells, it's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? I want to hear what you guys got to say. So before I tell you what I tell Spirit's definition of particular hells, Amy, what do you think you would have? Okay, can you tell the difference? Are you able to do that to see before June when I said your particular hells, what that would have sounded like, and now what I mean by particular hells? Or have you not learned that? Because I can't remember if I told you.
I've learned that.
Nicole says thoughts in your own head. Yeah, that's particular hell. Very good. Anything else? All right. So when what answer what I said, their question.
Living with a narcissist is a particular hell.
Very good. Yes. Somebody says each person has their own challenges of particular hell that they have to deal with. Correct. The thoughts and fears we put ourselves through. Exactly. And when it's funny, because when I first said particular hells, people say, what? My life's great, but yet bitch on the other side of their mouth. Mm-hmm. And when some people think, somebody says, I can't win for losing, some negative cycles. Yes. Yeah. Like depression and stuff. You can't seem to get out of that. The anxiety, you can't get out of that. There's nothing wrong with you. Basically, when you do things you feel you need or should do, even if it takes more from you than it should. Yes. Very good. You're tuning into the fact that you have particular health. Now feel how draining they are just for a moment. Feel how draining they are. And the question is, do you want to give your life force to that? Now, here's an interesting part. Can you get yourself out of your hells? And you know what? I was exactly where you were before spirituality. Now ask that question. Can you get yourself out of your hells?
Yep.
But before, you couldn't. You wanted out. You screamed, you hollered, you kicked. Throw tantrums. Okay, I'll try this time. Nope. Okay, I'll try this one. Nope. Okay, what if I change myself doing this? Nope. And you're changing yourself for them, the situation, but you're not changing yourself, for your growth. Does that make sense? Okay. Very good. We create happiness by changing our thoughts and actions. Amen. And if we get stuck in that, there's a tool to heal that. And if you really feel that I've tried everything I can to get out of this hell, but you're created your hell in a certain mindset, the ego mindset. So how do you get out of it? You have to create a different mindset to get out of it. You cannot get out of it with the same mind that created it. Okay. And that's why the tools and the tapping and the growth. This is why over time it was, I had a new experience and I have to wait until I get to my old age before I can understand, that's what that was when I was in my youth. But we have a fast track. We literally have a fast track. And that is you can break away from your house faster by using tools. Betty says, I can now see that I have already started breaking some of these. Excellent. I'm here, but keep getting distracted. Oh, well, okay, Brenda, you're getting what you need, and that's good. And Betty says, I 100% agree. Growth has been the key to breakout. And again, the brain, it's in a little dark, it's in your head. It's in the dark space, man. It's dark. It's in prison. It doesn't know until you feed it with your sensory system. So then it gets a little information. It's like, oh, that's what's happening out there. And I can predict. And it goes and it predicts. But if you have an arrested development and you have not fed it any surprising, good, wonderful, grateful information, it's just going to take what it knows and repeat it. How you do anything is how you do everything. And you're going to keep this cycle going until you change it. Okay? You didn't even know you had a cycle going, did you, Aim?
Nope, I did not.
Okay? She came to me. She was happy. She's, got kids to take care of. She's doing this. She's doing that. She had her story. There's nothing wrong with having your story. But that story owned her. What do I mean by that, Aim?
I was my story. I wasn't myself. I wasn't Amy. I was.
But isn't that your story? Isn't it your story?
2, 3 kids.
But how did it own you?
It just
by emotions.
I got absorbed into it.
Absorbed. That's good. That's a good word. She thought about, oh, I can't have kids. So then she created spirit to show her that you can watch these kids for free. You don't have to get paid for it. It's my honor to watch you because I didn't have any. Okay. I mean, she wouldn't just get them for a few hours. She'd get them for a few weeks at a time. Brand new newborns.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty much for her kids, if you think about it. She didn't have to give them back. She's like, no. Don't you want your child? And they're like, oh, no, you keep them for a few more days. And she's like, okay. So she created the universe, helped her create what she wanted, which was to have her own children to watch. Now, she couldn't have her own children, but she got pretty damn close to it. That means that she would have to go through all the hells, getting up at 3, 5, 6, whatever. The point is she had to constantly keep doing this. Now, what changed to the point where you don't have them anymore?
All of a sudden, she's 10. One night, I went in to ask her to do something because I wanted her to watch the little ones. So I was going to run to the store. And no, I don't want to, and blah, blah, blah. And so I told her, okay, clean your room. I hate you. I'm like, okay. And then she goes, I don't ever want to come back here again. I'm like, okay, I can make that happen.
Now.
She hasn't been back since.
Now, and then the other little ones.
The other little ones, Mom ended up in the hospital, and Daddy decided to man up and take care of his own kids.
Okay, so now that is your external answer. This is what the universe made happen. But what happened to Amy that caused those two lines to dry up? Something happened in Amy because she was magnetically pulling in. What do I mean by that? Emotions are magnetic. Your thoughts are electric. Okay? So did this bad thing happen to you? I mean, understand, Amy, you changed some thought patterns, emotional patterns, the need, the yearning, the wanting. You changed all of these patterns that the universe said, oh, yeah, you don't need them anymore. And then how do you change it? The universe made that little girl say that. It made the situation where that woman had to go into the hospital and the father took the kids back. But wouldn't have those happened anyway? No. Because her soul kept saying, I got to have kids. I yearn for them. I want them. The emotions kept drawing the same circumstance over and over and over and over and over until she owned up to it by using tools, hope therapy, connecting the dots, by seeing how her past has created her future. and the present moment. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So the yearning was very desirable. I have to have kids because I can't have them. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right, tell your story now. Now, you not the story about the fact is, yes, on a scale from 0 to 10, I really wanted kids because I felt bad. Yes?
Yes.
And see, now she's healed it so much, she's not sure. And I put her on the spot, so that doesn't help either. And Spirit said they wanted to talk in a different way, and I found out the rhythm. So, haha, Amy, sorry. Okay, but the point is just owning up to those emotions. And the reason I say they're negative, it's not that they're bad, but they are power versus force. And in that force, it was forcing her to have her life show up in particular health. So now, did you yearn for kids all the time?
No.
Before this?
Before this, yes.
Okay, so let's talk before the situation. Let's own up to who Amy was before you did any healing.
Oh, I wanted kids in the worst way.
Why? Because you couldn't have them?
Because I couldn't have them. Growing up, my best friend in high school, we had a pact, and I won the bet though.
What was the pact and what?
Well, the bet was that I would have kids before she did.
Aha.
That didn't happen. She had kids before I did.
Okay, and how did you win the bet?
Because I was supposed to have kids before she did, so I won. I didn't have them.
Gotcha. Okay. So again, what's important is that Spirit wants you to get this. And it wants her to get it. Okay. You had yearning. You had longing. And these are emotions that can drive you crazy. Because every day you can look and go, oh, look what I don't have. I have loss. And then it now is written in your GPS. And now you are to go out into the world and then the universe starts giving to you what you align to. And it was working. She had kids, but they weren't hers. But the thing was, she was happy. So in some respects, somebody will say, well, didn't you destroy her world by making those kids go away? I didn't do anything. All she wanted was her health back. She wanted to be happy. She wanted to wake up. And I said, well, first you have to address these unresolved issues that your soul is saying is there. And when I said, oh, do you have yearning? Yes. Do you have loss that you can't have children? Yes. I said, do you want to get rid of that pain? Yes. And so then she did. And a brand new Amy started to emerge. Here I am. She healed her health. And here she came. And what happened? She started to become happier. Mm-hmm. And when she wasn't happy, she's like, that's a clue. Brenda. And then, or she was sick. Wait, I don't want to be sick 24/7. And I said, well, the unresolved issue is this. But when you resolve your issues, you evolve. Do you regret not having those kids anymore?
No. And
that's the thing. In your ego, you're going to say, well, if I heal this, then I'm going to have regret that I don't have them anymore. People say they're so scared of healing because their partner may not be with them anymore. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I felt that, but then I realized that the man I was married to was not in a line with me. I kept compromising, sacrificing, martyrism, kept showing my love and my gratitude. And then the moment I turned and looked to myself, it was like, well, don't you love me anymore? And it's like, what are you talking about? Just because I looked at myself and thought, I need to exercise more, or I need to take 15 minutes more to do this. And I hadn't realized I was in the old patterns, the old paradigms. And it's like, I don't want to live that way. I want to wake up happy. And so I only set the GPS to happiness. That's all I said. Every day. I looked. Yep. I still agree. So your spirit is constantly saying, do you still want your goal? You said you wanted happiness. Yes. Now, there are days I turned around and thought, oh, God, it's too much fucking work. I can't do this today. Spirit says, my soul says, really? Because I did not want to move out of that program. I'm just pissed and I want to hold on to that pissed and I just want to wallow in it because it feels good. And it, and then I'm thinking, whoa, that's serving me? And you can feel it. And the more you understand ego, the more you're like, fuck, I don't want to be that. It's just drama and trauma 24/7. Really? Even though I like to bitch in my head quietly, silent brooding because he's an asshole. I'm blaming. I'm on the effect side of the equation. Is that really where I want to live? No, I don't. I really, really don't. I'm watching the colors on my face because I look like a ghost almost. And I said that when I said it in the beginning of the show. I mean, I look different. And I keep seeing these. There it is. What the hell's that? And then it's like, so I feel like I'm, she started off by saying, oh, yeah, I took on my ex, or soon to be ex. I am a him. So I'm curious now. And my name is Brenda Power. 1, 2, 2. Only a 2. Am I somebody that's dead? Am I somebody that's, yes. Is it somebody I talked to this morning out of the 1, 2 people? Oh, see, I am. I can't tell you who that is. So I just don't want to be this person. So you just kind of do some exercises, like this is the Celtic weave. Intention. It just looks like I'm moving my arms, but energetically I'm changing my frequency because I got to get into alignment. There we go. Did you just see that? Mm-hmm. Don't know if it'll do anything about my color, but at least I'm not so, and I told myself in the beginning, I look like a ghost. Now I am Brenda Power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Am I that? No, I'm not that person. Oh, no, I haven't pinned PayPal. Oh, yeah, down below it says that, oh, no, you didn't pin PayPal. People are looking for the PayPal. Okay, so I'll quickly do that real quick. I hope you're getting something out of it. I need your feedback. I need to know if you like listening to how we function as humans. Why is that important? Well, I think it's important because it's about your growth. It really is. Okay, it really is. And if you can decide that you want to look at your unresolved issues and learn how to be in your spiritual space without feeling like you have to get stuck in ego 24/7. Oh, that girl says, I love listening. I pick up little bits every time I watch you. That's wonderful. That's the thing, is that spirit. Sometimes spirit will talk, and people will say, well, you're talking too much. You're giving too much information. I'm overwhelmed. Well, I'm not talking to your head. I'm talking to your soul. I'm talking to your heart. I want you to say, I don't want to live that way anymore. I don't want to just be a program. I want you to wake up and see between the glitch and say, okay, I don't want that anymore. I want something better. I want something. Does this make sense? Okay. So feedback is very important. And I'm so glad I looked up. Oh, wow. Melanie says, I had a streamer removed because it caused me tremendous backache. It's gone now. Good. Get it out. Yeah, and see, and Marianne, I'm going to be teaching these courses. This show is to show you what Spirit wants to talk about, help you understand how to connect your dots in your world. And the classes and things for muscle testing, source point healing, EFT, all the free healing tools I do, all of the empowerment through enlightenment courses, they're coming. I mean, as far as my understanding is by January, I don't know how they're doing it, but hey, why not? By January, we're going to start off and you're going to have these different classes. Now, it's going to look like it's, oh, I can't take all these. They're all expensive. Well, they will be individually cost, but then you'll be able to see them in group, and then you get to see them in memberships. And memberships will be cheaper yet. I don't know how they're doing the structure, but it will be done. And you're going to, the whole point is that you can be on the fast track of healing. It's not about the money. It's about how you are serious enough that you want to take hold and invest something into who you are to grow. And when I teach, I want to make sure you're serious. You know, I want your heart involved in it, because I want you not to miss the gems. I don't want you to miss the clues. And that's why the Empowerment Through Enlightenment, it has its own glossary. And I've got to eventually sit in front of this camera and give you each word individually so that you look at it. You listen to me long enough, you're going to start seeing the glossary. You can hear it, run to the end of your timeline, all these little things. Wonderful, Amber. Amber says your exercises have helped me tremendously. That's good to hear. It's amazing how your body is muscle memory. Yeah, amazing how your body works. I want you to see how you tick. I want you to be able to say, oh, if it's not ever really written in stone. This is what's the important part. Thank you, Patricia. Yeah, she says, I always enjoy listening to you, and I always take a little thing, something. That's what's good, is because each little piece is going to help you become stronger human. But if you keep taking and applying, not just listening and applying, you're going to become a spiritual human. And then you'll be able to move into your mind to be a spirit first, then your ego. That's the goal. Because we're moving into this new timeline. Today at 1 p.m., I'm going to be doing the meditation that's going to help you be in a new timeline, but able to live in this one, come and go in between, so that you can heal and to grow. You can be this, you'll end up being this light, because you're going to be connected to the reconnected energy. You're going to be connected up to the pillars. You're going to be connected to the core inside of you. Each one of these energies, is your light quotient increases, but you're going to be glowing differently. Nobody will see it physically in their eyes, but you'll then become a mentor without realizing it. Because as you begin to go, oh, I don't know how to climb that mountain. Then you turn around and you're like, oh, I'll just grab this thing, hook it, and climbed up. Nobody could see these before. Now you're beginning to see something that nobody's seen. And as you begin to demonstrate how to use certain things, other people are going to go, how did she do that? I want to follow the leader. And it's not about being sheep, but it's about seeing the third option. It's about moving in a new direction that they've never done before, because the paradigm is breaking. We're creating a new one. People then are going to see your light, be attracted to it, and then they're going to want to either be quietly, I'm going to see if I can do this. I'm going to pay attention. I can't tell you how many people, when I was growing up, came to me and said, thanked me for being in their life, and because I've helped them. I'm like, what? Oh, and I just like, seriously? And these were young kids that were watching me grow up, and they wanted to be more like me. I'm like, what the hell am I doing except for surviving? And Spirit says, you can do more than that. I'm like, wait, what? I could do more than that? Stop hiding yourself. Really? Wait, what? I think I was hiding myself. All those dang programs. It's good to see that we had 20 people. Let's see if we can get it up, because we're getting ready to do our next part of our thing. So if you haven't joined me, you can. It's only $33, and you get balanced, aligned, and then the meditation. And you can do this as many times as you want, because you're in the group. So you can do this meditation again and again and again. You don't have to do the prep work. You can just tune in where the meditation is and just listen while you fall asleep, or intentionally sit and do the meditation. There's no right or wrong way. It's just that your soul will want to heal the vibration. It wants to change the frequency. It wants to. And so that's why that's why I said it doesn't matter when you do it, how many times you do it, just do it.
I highly recommend recommended.
Yeah. And EFT, there's different levels of EFT. Okay. I say both sides because what I have noticed is that if you do the full gamut from Gary Craig, you're going to notice that it includes left brain, right brain. People don't think about that. It includes the left eye, right eye, because we take pictures with our sensory systems. People don't include that. When you hum and you talk and you count, it includes that left, right brain. That's so important when you're unhooking those deeper issues. Okay, you're not just resolving so you don't feel it and depersonalize. You're resolving it from the roots. I don't believe in cutting. I believe roots need to be pulled out. I need you to resolve those to evolve. I need you to learn how to heal instead of deal. That's why those catchphrases are there. And because you can always heal that in some form, especially when you believe that you can't. Okay, so just do me the honors and see how high we can get that number. Why? I don't know. Spirit says so. Oh, thank you. Yellow looks good to me. Thank you. Yes. And I do, even if the deep issue, I then use my fingers to tap, but I do 3 at once, and I deliberately change the language. I focus on the emotion. I do all these little tiny details depending on which one, what's the issue. I put everything on a scale so that I can tell where I'm at. And I can tell you how I used to do it in the beginning and how I couldn't feel the effects. And, and I could tell. That's what's so important. Okay, so what's oh, thank you. I'm so poignant. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to check my box, and we have a few 1-minute reads. That's good to know. And we have a couple. Okay, good. So first up is Rachel Foster. For Rachel Foster. And I need my timer. I was like, what is that? So it is 6 minutes for $9. And for 6 minutes, you're thinking, well, that can be long, or it may not be long, but 3 cards. Sometimes 3 cards takes 2 minutes. Sometimes I can whip through those suckers and tell you that probably in a minute. Not saying that I'm trying to be cocky. I'm just trying to tell you that sometimes you need more than just cards. You need to connect the dots. You need to go deeper. You need to go to that next level. Does that make sense? Okay. After Rachel Foster is Premier Flooring. And after Premier Flooring is Amy Schmalz. Okay, so then there's those 3. And any more that comes in, we'll let you know. And if you have, now here's the thing. Oh, you want to call? Let me turn that on, Rachel. Hold on. Oh, crap.
And I think you have to accept her friend request, too.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. Come on. Work with me. We got to clear that. Talk about up close and personal. Hello. If I have to accept a friend request, I may have to go through a different. I just pulled the cord. Okay, everything's still running. Oh, good. Oh, good God. All right, come on. And give me a second for that to come on. Okay. You can add my 1 minute to my done. Okay, remind me, Aim. Melanie, she's Premier Flooring. So instead of giving her 6 minutes, I give her 7 because she says just add her 1 minute to that. And okay. So we just do it that way, okay? Mm-hmm. And so Aim's here, not, we're trying to figure out how she can keep track of yep, there she is. We're trying to keep track of the readings and the cost, but I'm not going to give her my PayPal thing, and because I'm in Australia and she's in Minnesota. Yeah, Google goes, I'm sorry, somebody's hacking your account, and I will have to go through and re-sign up, and then they're like, oh, I'm sorry, somebody's hacking your account. So we haven't figured out a way so that she can. I'm like, well, I can't just give her all rights to it, just so that I can have a little bit of freedom. So if anybody has any ideas out there, that would be so awesome because I'm confused. Okay, so now that she's my friend, she can go ahead and call. We'll go that way. Marianne, when it comes to your appointment, what I do for everybody. So just to let you know, when you make an appointment with me, as long as you've paid, and I know I'm aware of the time, I will then open up. I have to open up my Zoom, click on invite, and then I go from there. So that, what does that mean? It means that the window's not open. So I can't give you my new. Okay, so hopefully here. Okay, so the phone's ringing, but there, come on, answer. Okay, my iPad's slow. I need a new one. Okay, hold on, Rachel. I'm getting you. Hang in there, dear. You know what? I probably should. Oh, there. I think we have it. I think we have it, but I can't tell. Yes, we hear her. Correct, Mary or Rachel? Something's not right. I see me. Oh, did it hang up?
Oh, wait. I got you.
There she is. Okay. I wasn't going to hang up because I'm thinking, I think I have her, but I can't tell. Okay. Everybody can hear her. Okay. Say hello.
Hello. I'm glad nobody else can see me.
Oh, no. This is all about you and me. Eventually I'll have Zoom for that. Oh, we're already going to start. When my physical body kicks in, that means there's something physical deep down. Give me a second to regroup. Tell me what it is you would like me to address.
Well, first I just want to say thank you for being you, and I know I've talked to you on Messenger and things like that. So personally, I wanted to say thank you. That's
you're welcome.
my giving back. What do I want to talk about? I don't know.
Okay, let's spirit, because they seem to have an idea of what's going on.
Okay, first question. My husband's sitting on the couch too. I tell you, sometimes, I think I'm not crazy, but I have a lot of intuition and a lot of thoughts that come, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is something wrong with me? Like my vision, because I do see a lot of light, and I do see a lot of things, and I do hear, but then a lot of the times I think I'm deaf because it only comes into me once in a while, and then it's like, oh my gosh, but how do I just pay attention and listen? Because I can't always do that when I know I just need to, I need to just kind of calm down and be able to listen. But then it's like, oh my gosh, my ears are ringing. Something's telling me something, but God, I just can't hear.
All right, now. So what we're going to do is that I'm just going to stop this real quick, because I want to educate you on all that she just said, because all of us have this to some degree. Okay. First of all, what you're explaining is that the light codes have come on, and your abilities that you've always had, you're starting to remember, but you're remembering it through your ego, not your spirit mind. And your ego will sit there and say, oh, that didn't happen. Or, oh my God, I can, and it comes up with, and then it's looking through all your programs. So your intuition is coming through, but it's not feeding through your spirit mind. It's feeding through your ego mind, which has to go through all of your filters of your personality, which is if you're having arrested development, which means, I can't talk on the radio. I can't do that. I can't let anybody see me. That's an arrested development, because you're holding back that part of yourself. You don't realize it's a program. But your ego, when you start getting your intuition, your ego will try to take over and say, oh, well, maybe that came from the devil. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's, that was wrong. So everything else is just wrong. And the ego is an amazing thing. It will fuck you over if it gets a chance, because it's trying to save your ass from what I don't know, because it's the one that's creating all the hell. It's just that moment when we've over-identified with things as a soul and as we grow. Okay, so now as far as when the ears go, when your body shows you signs. Okay, here's the big difference. If you're an ego, it's going to, and your intuition comes through, it's going to start feeling like aches and pains. Okay. If you are using your ears, like for example, that are, oh, I've got a higher frequency, that must mean I'm tapping in, because you've heard people say this. Yes and no. You have to turn it on. You're like, but I don't know how to do that. Well, that's what people like me are for, to help you turn it on. But it goes much deeper than that, because if you have, oh, I don't want to talk to this person anymore, they just kind of like pissed me off, I don't want to hear that tone of voice anymore, oh, just keep your attitude over there, oh, listen to what you say every day. So we don't realize, but we take and we say, I can't tolerate that anymore. So we start to selectively shut things off. If you're used to being bitched as a kid, you are going to put filters up, especially over your heart. So when you're trying to receive information, again, you have to learn to get into your spirit mindset versus your ego mindset. So your body will start causing aches and pains. So Amy's ears will ring. But the thing is that they've always rang. Why? Because her body is so out of sync with herself. Those meridians are the ones that create your physical reality. But your meridians also send a frequency out, so you create your physical external reality. So there are a lot of times your light codes have kicked on, your body's starting to remember, your ability to open up that third eye is happening, but you have forgot where you put the manual. What the hell does that mean today? Oh shit, where'd that manual go? Who threw it away? Oh my God, that's right. I thought I didn't need it anymore. So you have to remember the manual, or you have to learn how to rewrite one. That means you have to create a filing cabinet if you're going to communicate with spirit. Because spirit is not going to be able to have nothing to communicate with. It's like you're a broken radio. Okay? And the broadcast system is still there. But you got to tune in. You got to fix your radio. You got to hopefully upgrade, you know. You don't need to be one of those cranks that, oh, I got to hear music. No. Okay, so so don't discredit yourself. You have all the abilities. Yours is waking up. Yours is tuning in. You are doing just that. The reason they made me cough in the beginning, because that was my sign to let me know. It's one of my filing things. And they're saying that in that particular, you're very defensive. Different patterns in the past. Have you been defensive in the past? Have you been accused of it?
I accuse myself of it. I know. I'm kind of tough when it comes to that, you know.
Okay. She just explained, yeah, I have a connection to that. Okay, and as I look at it, they said correct, and it affects your lung meridian. I started to cough. Why? Because you are, do you silently brood? When something happens, you just quietly just bitch in your own head? Oh, why'd you do that, you dumb bitch? Why did you sit there and say that to that person? You shouldn't have said that to that person. That's a form of self-brooding. Or let's say your husband pissed you off. You're like, oh, God, why does he do that every time? But you just smile and maybe hold it inside. You don't know. Okay, there are habits. Do you do any of those? But he's sitting right here. Okay,
and then I create and broadcast it out.
Wow, she just said a little bit further. Good girl. Why? Because you just caught. Oh my God, I'm seeing my pattern. And the thing is, it's caused as grief. In the lung meridian, it is caused as silent brooding. I have to be a little anguish, and I have to overcompensate. So do you have to correct what you say? Let's say you feel like you said something to your husband. You think, oh wait, I may have said that. I better explain that more, or I better. You should see her smile.
Honestly, I'm good that I got a balance with him, because later on when we communicate, it meshes and it aligns. But at the time, I don't want to give him it, because it's been so many years. He should just know.
So she's showing you over time what has developed. Okay, so this is what's happening. So she wants to develop her abilities a little bit further. Well, you can't if your information is running through that filter. You got to overcompensate. You're going to put your own ego attachment to spirit coming through. Silently brood. Oh, look you got it wrong. And so then she has to get defensive and attack herself. And so she's just this little cycle that keeps running around, playing that same program. And yet every day she wakes up and going, but I know something's different. But I just can't see it. And that's what's happening. And if I look a bit...
Not on the physical plane, everything stayed the same.
Exactly. I'm glad she pointed it out. That's where I come in, because that's where healing tools come in. This is where I get to see what you can't see. but you know it about yourself, so you already see it. You just, hey, what am I doing? And if I help you connect the dots, then we take and use tools. It'll actually break down that connection. Because they said, like in the, I'm not paid attention to. Is that true?
I'm not paying attention to, or I'm not getting attention.
Either way, let's find out.
Yeah, I guess you know what's my hardest thing, I suppose, is like really trying to figure out the balance of like what is the reality. I get so confused with like, you know, just typical living in life and survival and the work grind, and I just know that, you know, I it's almost like I can sense like really like it, to me it's more of like what I feel is a truth, and it's upsetting to me because I can't find like words like to communicate, so I've left it within myself to, you know, to soak in, and whether that comes out as suffering or heartache, you know, it's like I don't know, like sometimes like the purpose
all right, so
of everything.
You can hear this last few seconds. Let me explain. If we were to address the fact that you used to pout when you were a kid,
yeah,
that's related to why your hells are the way they are today. Is that there's an unresolved issue at 3 years old that keeps replaying out and actively affecting how you focus on life right here. And then you get very discouraged. So there's a pattern. Then you watched your family about awkwardness, about how you're supposed to function and do things. And then I also see that you have to correct yourself, compelled to correct. So it sounds very confusing, but if I were to say, if you were just to focus on one particular emotion as you begin to, let's say, do EFT or hope therapy, and that is your triple warmers going off, and you know what worthless feels like. Do you understand? You kind of know what that is, and you see it in others, or you may have done it to others. People have done it to you. You see, here's a party that's collected enough kaleidoscope perspectives to say, shit, I know that word too much. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why it's hard for me to get ahead in life, because it's almost like I last video with you, but yeah, it's because I've got that feeling of so many like different people. And
okay, so let's look at this. She said she can't get ahead in life. That's going to be your first clue. These phrases are not just flybys. You know you can't get ahead. Okay, you said, well, maybe it's this. But the thing is, you can't get ahead is because of she feels worthless. She knows what worthless is. So I would say tap it out. Use a tool. Why? Because you don't need to repeat this over and over. Because you'll see it in your relationship with your husband. You'll see it with relationship to work. You'll always see it because your soul is saying to you, can you heal this now? Can you heal how you know what that is? Now, you don't want to just be an overcomer and, okay, I don't feel worthless anymore. I feel worthful. And then it just tells me that your roots are there and it's going to come back and kick you in the ass later. You learn how to be worth. You learn to find your worth. In this case, she needs to get rid of how she knows the worthless. And that can be stuck to her 3-year-old. That can be stuck to different points in time. What does that mean? When you move past those, it's going to become a natural thing for your energy to rise, to feel, oh, I do value myself. I am not going to put up with this anymore. Oh, I don't even have to think that way anymore. You don't want to suppress. You want to resolve to evolve. Does this make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so you know what EFT is?
I've seen the word and read about it, but I don't know what it is.
Okay, so you'll have to go to my website. Amy will send you the link, and because right now they said that I watched how your mind just dripped into habitual fear. That's another reason why it's good to talk too. Not only do you guys get to hear, but her mind just went into habitual fear. And you're kind of drifting. Can you feel that?
Yeah.
See, and that's a symptom. She just told herself how she knows she goes from here to there. And now I will tell you, it's owning her right now. She may not know it, but it's owning you because your body wants to curl up just a little bit. It just wants to basically on one side of your body. Does that make sense? And do you feel all of a sudden, do you feel like you're blamed, or that does it feel like I put you on a hot seat and you're like, oh my God, you're seeing my flaws?
Yeah, no, I can feel like the hot seat, but it's like, and I do, but I don't know if it's a flaw, or if it is the matter of like just holding on to things that are really, that I have to realize they're out of my control. But that gets deeper, because that goes into my
all right, now listen to how our mind works. Everybody does this, including me. Okay, I don't do it as much. Well, what does that mean? It means her gallbladder is going off. It's messing with her thoughts. It's creating her to be in cloudy thinking. It's causing her just to be symptom. It's causing her to not be happy. It's trying to get her to go into a particular direction. And that is fight, flight, freeze. She's got to protect herself. And everybody does this. And before you know it, you get scrambled, and you have to come up with trying to figure out how to make your world work. I want you to do one thing, and that is I want you to hold your head. Okay, I want you to put it on the scale from 0 to 10 and hold your head. Now, if you can mute your side, I want you to mute that and you stay on the line, because I don't think anybody else wants to call me. And I want you to put it on the scale from 0 to 10 and feel how this has owned you. It's totally freaking owned you. And I want you to feel it. And it's a 10. And I give it a color, and you stay like that. Now, I'm not even giving her hope therapy. I'm just giving her the oh my God one. And you can hear all those thoughts running around, can't you?
Yeah, it's starting. Yeah, it's more of a it is more of a physical pain, because it goes into my back and it goes into my head, and it gets heavy. And
okay, so do you want to? All right, so you just stay there and you be quiet and don't go away. I want to see how long this takes until it shifts. So that's why you put it on a 10 and you give it me your color, and you stay that way, and it should come down. It'll take longer because I'm not giving her a point. Amy. Oh, no, not Amy. I was going to say who's next, but I know who's next. Melanie. That's the word I wanted. Premier Flooring. And we're going to do 7 minutes with her. And then after that is Amy, and then Angels. Abel's Ducky. Ducky is after Amy. Okay. So we're going to go to 7 minutes. Now you hang there. You're going to, I know, breathe through the pain. Okay, honey? Just breathe through the pain, because your body's going, we need to retract. We need to pull back. You're like, no, I want you to just doing this. Okay. Okay. Now let's go over to Melanie. I should have had the rule book in my past life. Okay. The web address is right now. It is Medicine Woman, the number 4, the letter U .weebly WEEBLY.com. You're going to look under healing tools. You'll see a drop down menu, because I couldn't put them all in that one space, and then I couldn't put it in the second space, and I'm redoing my whole website. But the drop down menu depends on which phone, which computer you use, but you get to look at them. They're all there. Okay. So when Brenda, so Amy, when we do Brenda's reading, Brenda Climo, we'll do a timestamp, and we've got to write down timestamps. She's asking, so we'll do our best to honor that. And she just shifted a little. So Melanie, you want to talk about, I want to go in more into detail of the healing gifts from the universe, and want to connect with Cedric. He is one of my guides. Okay. All right. Ready? I got to think about this. I'm not sure who's, all of a sudden I feel drained. And I feel there's the fear of the future. It's like I'm trying to be present, but then there's this program that says I have to have fear of the future. Okay. And as I'm looking, I can feel that you're stuck in your action step. And I ask which one? And they said that it was at 1 year old. an action step at 1 year old. Well, tell me about your action step. Well, as soon as I feel awkward, I have to go into sorrow. Why? Because I can't be me. Okay, so when we're first born, we have all of these abilities, and we don't think with our logical ego. We think with usually our right brain, and with our spiritual abilities, and we start to shut them off at different key points. Okay, so I would address the fact is that there's a particular pattern. If you feel awkward, if you feel these particular things, the one thing they're saying and paying attention to is that you have an automatic response. And I say, what is that? And you just are repulsed. You're just like, oh, I can't do this today. You're repulsed by something. Life is distracting you from being in this moment because you're like, I don't want more of this. Okay, I don't want more of this. And even though you know that you could have more of something else, something better, your brain keeps predicting, I don't want more of this. Does that make any sense? And your ego of excuses and reasonings is what says, see, this is why I don't want it, because if I don't nip it in the bud now, I'm just going to be stuck with this. And again, you're going into a circle and you're stuck there and it's not changing. And that's where you're going to need to do a healing, Melanie. Bust it out, because you're not going to get that shift you're looking for, because your energy is put into that. That energy needs to be, once you resolve it, you need to take that energy with you to go in the direction you're moving, if that makes any sense. Cedric says that you need to look at your second chakra because it's in that relationship with other humans. Just like I was saying, that it has to do with, oh, see, now there's a physical reaction you're doing too. I don't want that to happen. There's a physical reaction. So you have to look at your repulse. I'm going to stop this just for 1 second. And I want to talk to, oh my God, I forgot her name. Is it Rachel?
Yeah.
I was like looking at you like, oh, your name changed. I was like, how did that happen? All right. Do you feel it is strong? You still feel that is strong? All right. So you're going to.
No, I'm breathing through it. Yeah. But I'm realizing like it is something that I'm holding in there, because doing this and then breathing through it, it's like I'm just creating so much of like a sickness within my body.
Yeah, because your body doesn't know how to resolve it anymore. And so, but the number in that feeling, it's come down.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay, so you can go ahead and finish off. And again, learning to use the tools or setting up an appointment with me so we can really pull it out by the roots. But I don't want you to suffer, okay?
Okay.
And if your husband's like going on a bad day, say, honey, just let me hold your head. Or you could slap his own hand up there and say, do this. You know, it depends on how you guys, communicate. Or you can
that's one thing we're not healthy is he's over there, because we're both sick. We're always old and something's wrong.
Oh, no, you two are young pups. We got to get you guys to get back to that stage. Oh, yeah. Nice to meet you. All right, we'll talk to you later, sweetheart. Okay? All right, bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you, Melanie, for waiting. And we are going back into it. Okay, I'm not sure what this is, Mel, but I feel like your guide is telling me that there's some shame, because I'm looking over here. I don't know if are you shaming your history? Yes, okay, but here's, okay. I'm going to face, just show me. She mirrors life, and that's why you're mirroring me. Okay. Right there, right here. So as he's pointing to a particular thing, you feel so depleted. You have not gotten your energy back from it. It goes back to being 1 year old. It has to do with that second chakra. We're going back into, which seal is it? Oh, she's made it out. Okay, so we have different seal points in our aura. She's made it out to the last one, and she seems to be stuck with that. And they said it's about giving and receiving pleasure. It's the quality of love for the opposite of sex or whoever that love is. Giving and receiving physical, mental, and spiritual pleasure. And the thing is you're like, Who I'm attached to, I don't want to do that anymore with. Well, again, your soul's asking you for closure, and it sounds like you're going to have to close out either how you have relationships with the opposite sex, that is your mate, or you need to close that out and move on so that you can come in alignment with the one, like I do with my husband now. Like I said, I didn't even know he existed, and all of a sudden Spirit says, pay attention, you're going in this direction. And now I'm in South Australia, happy as can be, and it's been over 5 years, and I wouldn't change a darn thing. It's 11, 11, 11, 11. 11, 11, 11, 11. Oh my God, look at that. I got how many cameras up? There's a 110. What's that tell you, Mel? You either going to go down the ski slopes nicely, or you're going to do the freaking splits all the way down. They said there's a lot of it is that it's hooked into guilt. This is how you've known what love and relationships are about, because that's what you saw growing up, is it's about guilt. The woman has to feel guilty. The woman has to take on the guilt. The woman has to transmute the guilt. If that's your case, then change that, because it needs to be resolved out. You don't need that anymore. Does that make any sense, Melanie? Yeah, you're long overdue. I know that's not what I read, but that's what Spirit just put on the thing. It's long overdue. They said that the crown chakra, they said it's the integration and total personality with life and spiritual aspects of you. And they said that you have some ego attachments that are going on. And if they could tell me kind of what it is, they said that your seventh chakra wants to stay closed because it's inharmonious and active projections of reality. I ask you what that is, because Spirit says it's a program, and it has to do with the way you see the world or the world sees, and all of a sudden you become very inadequate, so your body does an automatic response. Because why hold on to hope if somebody's just going to change it, because they have the power. You need to heal how that power is. Okay, so when it comes to understanding twin flames and the emotions of soul, the thing is you can have a false twin flame, but it is what you need to hear. So it depends on your level of consciousness. If your level of consciousness is at the first, second, third chakras are only there then, and if your information is told to you, it was probably correct information to get you feel urges to grow, because you wrote this in your contract. I won't move unless I know this. I won't. And you have already wrote, okay, I may have to tell myself this in order to go here. I may have to, you decided at these fork roads, do I want to go forward or do I want to go backwards? And it's not that you have to blame your guides or that they're rubbish. The point is that you have to fine tune the change, because your guides will swap in and out. Your guides can only tell you what your soul contract really is about. And that's a certain level. If you can't hear them, you haven't tuned in. Your radio needs to be upgraded. Okay, you need a new iPhone body, whatever it is. You need to be able to understand a little bit deeper. When I'm looking at the idea, is your guides rubbish? Are they rubbish? No. You've come to that conclusion because it's an auto response. And that it has a lot to do with you feel like you've been injustice. It's like you feel like you've been ripped off. You told me this and now this is happening. You said in your contract, if I haven't gotten to this position, I've got to kick my own ass. And if I can't, and if I don't wake up, I've got to have somebody else do it. Okay, human. Oh, if they can't do it, then I have to have my spirit guide do it. Do you understand? You gave yourself checkpoints, because you're meant to be over here and you haven't done that yet. So you have checkpoints. And so if your ego is looking at your checkpoint and going, Jesus, then, you're not listening to, you have to listen to your spirit mind, and you have to get out of those hells, because otherwise, and how your level of consciousness is power versus force. They should learn English. That's funny. So if you're learning in the force field, which is all basically anything below love, then you're going to have to really look at the different perspectives with it. It's simple enough as that. I know it sounds weird, but that's what happens. That's why I'm the soul coach. That's why I'm here, to help you understand how you tick as a human and how to get you into your spirit mindset and stay into your spirit truth. Okay, the next person is Amy. Miss Schmalls. Since you're there, you can unmute yourself. And what is it that you would like to know, my dear? Oh, what happened to your volume? I got to shut it off? It's all. I mean, you're on my phone. Is that better?
Can you hear me better?
I don't know how to shut that off because it's not. Everything's shut down. There's nothing open. Yeah, you may have to call back. Okay, so after Amy Schmalls is Angel, which is Ducky Simmons. Ducky. And then, Lillian. Oh, no, Lillian wants in the group. Let's see. How did you join? What the world did I just do? Are you there? Stupid thing. She's decided to call me through Instagram, and it didn't work. Now, how in the world? Do it again. I'm learning, people. You see my Arrested Development. Ooh, food. I mean, there's a picture of food. Call back. I can call back. I just can't answer the darn call. How about now? There, now we can hear you. Okay, so Lillian has joined the group for the blah, 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 the meditation. So yay. And we're happy about that. And I'll have to fix that up so she can get in there. Okay. What is it you would like to talk about?
I want to get rid of my stinking headache.
On a scale from 0 to 10, what is your stinking headache?
About an 8. No, we'll go with the 10.
I'm just going to have, this is what we do. I'm just say hold L2D and then I'll talk. Hold L2D. Just go for it. Why? You don't need connections. So, you know, this is what soul coaching is. Sometimes people will just say, ah! And I'm like, okay, I got to define the ah. Well, that's not hard. I just go, okay. And what do? I just tune in and they give me a number and I'm like, all of a sudden I'm sweating. Hold on. Why am I hot? Oh, because it's getting hotter outside or I'm having a hot flash. Oh, this is you. Oh, your hormones. Oh, that's right. I'm not only going through my own issues. I'm mirroring. Now I'm creating inflammation inside my body. So ego likes to dictates to be busy so that it can really tune it. And if you're going to be this healer, understand sometimes it'll look, oh, she's not paying attention to me. But in order for me sometimes to do certain things, I have to let my ego be busy so it doesn't interfere with my work. How's that for you? Does that make any sense?
It sure does.
Whew. Okay, really sweating now. So her hormones are off. Is it this one, this one, this one? So it's your hypothalamus, and then your hypothalamus is saying that I'm contemplating love. Oh, you're contemplating love. Have you been thinking about love lately?
Not really, but I guess so.
Okay, when it comes to your ex, have you been contemplating about love?
Oh, hell no.
Now, hold on. I've said to you, oh, he loves you. And you're like, you see the look she gives me. And I said to her, okay, you know, the way he expresses love. Did you love him when you married him? Did you know? And I've asked her to look at things. Okay. And you're like, but I don't love his exertion of power. Is that true?
Right.
Yeah.
That's very true.
So she has been thinking about love. I don't love that. How can I love that? Because see, she was, it was her husband, and now it's like soon to be ex. If ever have her listen to her language, it's her own language, and now she's come to a conclusion that might be what it is. Does that make any sense? Breathing in. Now, what I feel is that you have to take an action, and you're like, but I don't want to take this action. And I'm saying, is that towards independence? No. Of having to obey. Did you put that in your marriage vows? Just curious. Did you? Huh?
Yeah.
You have to break that vow. Say why? What?
The original,
Was it something that was important to you, or your family, or him?
Family.
I don't want to, but you kept your mouth shut and you did it anyway because it was family. It was part of tradition. Do you see where that one lies?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, but this is so monumentous. No, that's the wrong word. Monotonous. That's the word. Monumentous. What the fuck's that? Trying to say several words there. But the action, you did nothing. But what did you do? You obeyed. You have to heal how you obey their exertion of power, even if it's still sweet. Oh, Aim, it's just a wedding vow. Just a little old wedding vow. Okay, can't you just do it this way? Sorry, don't know where that's coming from. I don't mean to insult anybody with it. Oh, yeah, it's a joke. I'll have to tell you what happened earlier with me. But anyway, but you were an it. You're like, I'm so tired of being an it, but I have no strength to say F off. I'm doing it my way. And the reason that happens is because you don't own that power. And because you don't own that power, they have the right to write your story. And it's not that you don't have the ability. It's just that you had taken your power and you put it over here. Okay. That's why you resolve to evolve. So you can take your power back, and then you change that energy pillar inside of you. And then you stop people coming into your space saying, oh, Amy, do it my way. It is, oh, Amy, you've changed. Or new person, they will never even think twice to treat her that way. Does this make any sense? How's your head? How's the head now?
It's getting better.
Okay. So it's in the action, and you have to catch yourself. They said this is so habitual action. It is, you do it with everybody. You obey everybody.
Pretty much.
So
that
we
was
want,
the way I was raised.
Okay, R1S, you just shifted. R1S, and you have to become very conscious when you don't obey. So what's the consequences if you don't obey? Excuse me. Well, that you take physical issues. You take on physical issues if you don't obey. Like that was my stomach meridian saying, oh yeah, I become unearthed, I get sick, I don't know what to do. My head hurts, and that's the only way you know how to be paid attention to, because nobody will pay attention to you any other way. Your little girl just said, I have to obey because I don't get paid attention to. Is that true?
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to stay in that position. What's your number of your headache now?
It's down to a 5.
Okay. Now you're going to hold that position, and you're going to mute. And I'm going to go, and you hold that, and I'm going to go to the next person. Okay. And
yes,
all right. So the next person is Angel Duckies. Ducky. And oh wait, we have 2. So 6 minutes for Ducky and 1 for Angels. Oh, now I see it. So we got to go for Ducky first, Ava, and then for Angel. So Ducky's first. All right. General, please, and thank you. Okay, so general it is. Hold on. I shut it off again. I gotta breathe. I feel like a weight on my shoulder. My head. Hold on. I know these symptoms have to do with something other. don't even let me. Okay, look at this. I can't think. I can't speak. It feels like somebody's sitting in my head. It's causing my right eye, which causes the meridian. I'm paralyzed. This meridian here is the bladder meridian. It has to do with fight, flight, freeze. And if I can't do anything, what happens is I go into. See this? I can't. Ooh. Okay. Wow. Now all of a sudden I feel like I want to pee. My whole body does a physiology thing. Do I have enough of this information yet? No. Turn the timer on now. No, don't. What? Very indecisive. Indecisive. Okay, Angel Ables, if anybody wants in the group, you got to use that PayPal link, send me $33, and then I'll let you into the group. That's how I do that. So you get distracted having to answer everybody else's questions. You're over here putting out fire here, putting out fire here. Is that it? Yeah. Okay, turn it on now. You can't see clearly. I'm aware of that. Oh, she can't see clear. Well, maybe if you get to the right window so I can actually see this. Where is the window? Oh, I can't even figure that out. How interesting is that? Regroup, regather. Okay, so that's me. I'm regrouping and grabbing because what I've just said, I want you to tell me if that sounds like you or somebody else, because I feel like there's an overlap. So you could become somebody else. Just to let you know, I need you to tell me what you know. And before I turn the timer, any of those that want to do the meditation group, please understand, I just put the link up to the group, but you can't get in unless you pay. So there is the paid link there, and you can pay that. And as soon as I see that, then you have come to the group, I will let you in. Okay. I don't understand it. It feels like my brain's twisted just a little. Yes, it sounds like me. Do we have enough yet? Okay, so I feel it's really weird. It comes just like this. It's like I'm wearing a mask to some degree. It's a mask. That's what it is. Now turn the timer on. I'm ashamed of part of me. I'm ashamed of myself so much that it's down and I can feel it into my body. Is that true, Ducky? Feeling what? I feel for. You feel for others, and therefore you take them on. Okay, so half of this mask means that there's Ducky and then whoever she takes on. Gotcha. Wiped out. Which one's wiped out? Do you Ducky or the other person, or it's taking on? Okay, so you feel wiped out and you don't even realize you're taking on this other person. Okay, so let's address that, Ducky. Do you know who you might be taking on? Because if not, this is how we'll do it. You will take and tell me. Now you'll say, okay, so you'll put person 1, person 2, how many people you ever think it is, okay? And then you give them a number, a value, and then you'll say, you type in number 1, and I'll tell you whether you're taking on that person and how much, and we'll do it that fashion, okay? Because I think you know the person. If that makes any sense, because again, your body does not know the difference between you and them. Did you do it? Did you have to take on somebody else's personality? Okay. I took on my mother's personality because my mother was dying of cancer, and I had to help her. I had to take on her personality because you gotta think like them. You gotta anticipate their next need, and you live that way that you get put on the back burner. See, there's that physical aspect. It's like, oh my God, and your body doesn't know what is you and what is them. Okay. And then sometimes you can feel it and it depletes you. That's what they were going at. Okay, so Ducky has not responded. Their power makes me feel irrelevant. Okay, if that's the case, then that would be another reason why your body would act that way. Do you feel bullied? Are you galled by what they said? For instance, when my ex told me that he didn't, this is several years into the marriage, but yet I stayed for a hell of a lot longer, told me to keep my mouth shut. He didn't want no part of my business, any part of what I think, how I act when I'm with him. Don't act like that. Don't share who you are, and don't let me see it. I don't want to know about it. I'm not going to help you with business. I'm not going to help you build the building. I'm not going to do anything like that. So don't even ask. But yet he controlled the finances, and yet it's his way to. I'm like, wait, what? But I was galled by the fact that I thought that this man that I loved and adored didn't feel the same way to me, and he's asking me to just refuse to be me. Okay. So, Ducky, where are you, honey? I need you to tell me if you're with me. And there's a bit of a panic and overtime hopelessness, because that's how you know things. Okay. As you're an ego, you will feel lost. You feel like, what's the point? Because your meridians will get into your head and it disconnects your heart. It disconnects you from higher self, and it disconnects you from your gut. So then you're just this walking emotion and a wound, and your thoughts just control every aspect of your life. That's where I would say you need to disrupt those patterns, because it controls more than one meridian, and I would do EFT. But if you like living there and you like to be in that, then that's your identity. You need to change that. Oh, you're trying to figure out numbers. Okay, we only got a minute and a half left, and then I just got to figure this out. I'm just going to say the first person in your mind is that this person bullies you, but you don't realize it, because that's called a relationship. But the thing is, you anticipate their needs, and what happens is that you get lost in who they are. When that happens, your body then becomes this person. That's person number one. Person number two is that you have no choice. You have to step up, and you have to take care of it. It could be a child. It could be somebody that needs you. But the point is that you're losing yourself in any situation, and you need to get out of that, because you beamed into this body, your body, and not their body. You can show up to help them, but you got to have them help themselves, because if you do it all now, like in my mother's situation, she was dying, but I chose to step up. I chose this, and I learned a lot from it. But we have got to get your power back. That's the thing. How do we get your power back? And it says that you have the inferiority complex. It's like you have to go in that. I'm going to tell you, just start doing this. Start applying it to everything. Lay down in bed at night when you're thinking, taking a nap, whatever it is. Just start doing this. This frontal lobe creates your reality. And if 80% of your blood, like your body's doing, goes into fight, flight, freeze, and it's stuck there, and then you take on them, because your immune system is saying, holy shit, we got to do this, then what causes you to stay stuck is because you can't own your power. And you can't do that. If that's not closed, you can't do that. So if you start bringing the blood back up, it'll swoosh, 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 help you create reality. It stops the physiology in your body to say it's got to go into panic and all this. And then the energy that goes out will change slowly, different steps. Don't expect this to do all the healing. That's why you make an appointment with me, so I can run you through, and eventually you will take out the roots, and then boom, boom, boom. These things close, your energy comes back, and then you get to strengthen. It's such an well, it's another story, but I understand, and I feel for you, Ducky. Okay, so Angel, are they here? I don't even remember if I've seen the name or not. Oh, here we go. Okay, Ducky, is Angel here, or is it I'm supposed to just give a... How do I do it? I mean, I just need to do this. Aim, while we're waiting, tell me how your headache is.
It's down to a 1.
All right. So the thing is that the reason it's down to a 1 is because you want to avoid. You want to avoid feeling with your heart. And you have an active memory of when you were 4. And then to heal that, I want you to hold L1D.
Unmute.
Yep. There's Angel. Okay. What did you want to talk about, dear? I don't think you told me. I better look. No, you didn't tell me. So, okay. So we're doing really well. And then after this, if nobody else is paid, then we go to the 1-minute reads. And that is fun. While we're waiting for Angel to tell me what she'd like me to address, because I'm sure she said above, but I can't see it because don't scroll back. Understand, at 1 o'clock today, I am going to do a meditation. It's going to help you to realign, balance, and come into that new timeline. Raise your frequency up, not just your vibration. And you're going to experience a physical energy shift. And if you're thinking, but I can't, or I don't, or I won't, understand, even if you can't connect with it, it's happening anyway. But you're going to be more aligned and attuned than most people out there. She says, whatever comes up, please. I want my teddy bear. I see a teddy bear. I just want to hold on to this teddy bear. And the thing is that I feel like it was taken away from me too soon, as to say, oh, you're done with that pacifier. Time for you to get rid of it. I feel like you felt like somebody took it away and you didn't make the choice of making it go away. Because of that, you're like, but I can't cope. I have no coping. I don't know how to cope. Where do I cope? How do I cope? And that helped you cope so you could be compatible with things. Without this, you don't feel compatible. You don't feel like you can do it. You don't feel like you can cope. And so it's like somebody took away your safety too soon. And it gets very confusing. It goes over to, I emotionally had to repress. Okay, so what you did was this. The reason I needed the bear was to cope, and I coped. I didn't have to feel it. Now that that's gone, I have to cope with the certain feelings. And if I asked you how many, one in particular, they said it has to do with feeling that I feel indifference. I can't feel like I'm connected to anything. I feel lost. And I feel like an it. At least with the bear, I felt like I was something. Okay, so then I asked, you don't want to feel that? And you're like, yes. And then you stuffed it down. Yes, I stuffed it down. And now you're exposed. You had to cope again. And I have been compatible. And all I can do is run around with the thoughts of contempt. I just have this contempt. I don't know what to do. Okay, I don't know what to do. And there's a part of you that gets very confused when people give you praise and then give you punishment. So these reward and punishment throws you off because you can't figure it out. Why? Because there's that confusion that happened of what you couldn't resolve when you were younger. So then what happened when you were younger says it's an engram. Everything equals everything, which means it gets all messed up. Good. But there's something to do with feeling like you can't get that safety from that bear anymore. I said good because she says I have a teddy bear that's always been in my bed since I was born. And you can't feel like you get that safety anymore. And you feel awkward. At what age? When you couldn't take it to school? Oh, okay. Fair enough. I could feel everybody's broadcast messages, their insecurities, their fears. So you must be an extreme empath. And you can't figure it out because, wow, I'm just all of a sudden just went into a sweat, not hot flash, a sweat. I diminish my character because I feel like everybody's personality is too strong. I'm fighting myself. I'm fighting my, so are you fighting with anxiety? I'm fighting towards myself. I know I need to be something and do something, but I can't do it. And then I argue with myself and I fight myself. If that's true, let me know. What about time? Her circadian rhythms clock is off between 1 and 3 a.m. and 1 and 3 p.m. And that is because I can feel the broadcast message that I'm a bad person. And at 4 years old, you took it in is that that's my truth. I feel bad. I feel bad. So then you became a martyr. I have to give up on myself and so that the person's happy. Okay. You know, that's okay. I don't need to watch TV. You go ahead. I don't need to have this meal. You eat it. Okay. It's not something that you're doing is like to say, oh, I need attention. It's just that it becomes this automatic response of how you do things, if that makes sense to you. Okay. Breathe. But I don't know. I haven't come back down. I need to land. I feel like I'm just floating away to some degree. And at the same time, I think that's part of your coping tool. And at the same time, I have all this pain that keeps me grounded. Self-efficacy means that you have not had the ability to get those results. So how I usually relate this to people is, let's say you had some clay. You made a horse. You're like, to you, it's a beautiful horse. I mean, look at the detail in the tail and the legs, but it still looks like a big clump. But to you, you see something beautiful. And this is your stages of your results of what you want. Somebody comes along and maybe just being mean, saying, oh, that don't look like a horse, or that just looks stupid. It is this broadcast messages that come from people. And you saw this and you believed them and you didn't consider the source. You didn't know that you had to or you could, but you believe them that they're correct and you're wrong. And therefore, you crushed up that clay, threw it away, and never got that clay out again to develop or to be. And so then you don't consider the source because they're always right. So what's the point in bother? Well, they're asking you to grow from this, if that makes any sense. Okay. And where am I at? What'd she say? Okay, yes, Grace. But what they want you to address is that you have muddled instability. And this instability is what you need to heal, because that's why the teddy is needed. You don't know what to do when this is an emotional instability. And if I ask what particular emotion, and they just said you feel awkward and you have that in your heart. And now if I had you do hope therapy at L1D, but I need you to take those emotions and say, yeah, even though I feel awkward, and I don't want to open my heart up to people. Okay. Tap it out. Get it out. Change that. All right. Yes, Mr. James. Hello. Angel, if that makes any sense, let me know. Please let me know if any of this makes sense. And if you haven't left me a recommendation, I ask that you can or will. I need to double check something. I need to log in. I know some people have just paid, but I also feel like something didn't come through. And like we had that issue last week. So I'm just going to open this up real quick. And we're going to look at how Angel Abels has joined the group to have that meditation. That is good. Not the Lion's Gate. You want to do the 11:11. Just want to make sure that's correct, because I opened up the Lion's Gate. You can get that in anytime. The 11:11 is the one that's closed. So I believe that's the one you want. And then the next person will be James. Yes, James, you're next. Darn thing doesn't come through. Okay. And no, it worked. God, I just felt like somebody was trying to get my attention, and it just wasn't happening. Yeah, that happens to me, though. Okay. Get back to the screen. All right, Angel, you're in. James, what did you want to talk about, sweetheart? Let me know. You're next. Aim, tell me, how is it going?
It's gone.
Now, I want you to hear this. How long have you had that headache?
3 days.
Okay, and on and off, we've got the number to come down. You were in so much excruciating pain yesterday. I didn't really get a chance to play with you or talk to you or help you, but I did get on long enough to help to relieve a little bit, yes?
Yes.
Okay, and so now you feel better?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay, now yesterday she couldn't even breathe either. She had all this blockness too, and that's also what was relieved yesterday. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you know you feel different? Not just for the pain gone, but how do you know? Is there emotional difference?
Yeah. There isn't such a heaviness.
Okay. And you can hear it in her voice. She's got this, oh, thank God, it's gone.
Yes, thank God it's gone.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Okay, mute, and here we go. All right. Mr. James says, seeing if I'm on the right path with things, my ex, the future. Okay, so Mr. James, it says that you get pulled back into situations because you feel awkward. And if that's the case, then you're going to be a yo-yo. And you will do yo-yo things. You haven't quite learned everything you need to do with your ex because you haven't dealt with that muddled instability, which keeps causing the yo-yo. If that makes any sense. Okay. They saying that you have to learn to remain optimistic with life. You have to stop. Oh, they're showing me. So are you putting stuff on Facebook to support your emotions? Like if you're in the moment of, then you put a meme up, bitch, fly away. You know, I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? Are you aware of that? You just you got to get it off and get it out. And they're saying that that's part of the personality that needs. Oh, good. Yes, you need to evolve about. Right now, you're getting minions, and you're moving because you're healing. You're moving into the direction where you don't need minions because you're growing up, and you're ready to leave that stage. You're ready to leave that stage, and you're ready to move into a different line. The reconciliation with someone from the past, and is that your ex? Oh, hell no. But it is with somebody that you know that can actually make you feel and resonate with your story. And is that a good thing? Okay, yes. And so you want people like going to support groups. You want people to help you get into that relationship. And they said, while you're doing that and finding yourself and learning to change that personality, is that you need to learn to call in your soulmate, which is thank you. And you need to visualize happiness with, and don't put a person's face. You just know that you're happy. You're putting your happiness out. And yes, a mate would be great. So you're going to call in your soulmate. You're like, yes, thank you. I know, yes, I am. And you'll know it. Don't be believing in the false, hey, it's got to be them. No. They want you to learn about separation. You're going to have to learn to, this is the difficult part because there's hooks, getting hooked back in. And they said you gotta recognize those hooks because those hooks are huge. But yet you get off on feeling loved and getting that attention. It's kind of like what happened toward yourself. I want to be paid attention to, but yet I don't want the bad stuff that comes with it. And they said this is a form of a habit that has to do with anxiety. The anxiety. So when you got anxiety, it was at 4, and that lowered your frequency. That caused you to feel like an arrested development, so you can't learn past it. And because you could feel people bully you. You had somebody in your life growing up that bullied you, but you didn't know it was bullying. You're beginning to understand how bullying looks in a relationship, but you have got to look at your little self said that I'm overwhelmed and I have these bad memories of someone bullying me, and I am asking spirit, they're saying hold L2S, left wrist, second position, nice and soft, okay? You need to see, this is where the wake-up call is that our little selves have looked at adults, moms, dads, siblings, and have ignored that this is how it is, that energy signature, or have despised it, but it's time for you to outgrow it, because they said that your little self needs to stop feeling that way because your adult self is different. and it'll change the attraction romance. And then you can attract something better instead of your repeated story, which creates somebody in a relationship that causes you to bully you. And you also, when you start to connect with people, try to understand that you were connecting in a codependency relationship. You used to be bullied, and this person likes to bully. That's a codependent relationship. And they're saying that that's not, you're addicted. You're emotionally addicted to this. And if I say, okay, how are you emotionally addicted? And they go into where? You're addicted by bullying. Oh, so you're addicted to the emotion of bullying. So again, L2S is what I would say to heal that one. And how about the path? The path right now is that you're including your children, and how is it you want to show up to them? How can you be raised better than, or how can you raise them better than you were raised type feeling? And they said that understand that when you fall in love with yourself, you are the one. And when you create yourself to be the one, then you're going to put the right vibration out, and you're going to attract the one that's going to make you happier and healthier and stronger. I hope that makes sense. Your future will get brighter. You just have to stop this bullying and this haughtiness and this gameplay. And the only way to do it is start resolving out how you know what bullyingness feels like. We're doing really good. I'm going to look up, and Michelle Seward. General, please. Thank you. Michelle. Let me find out where you're at. Okay. All right. Immediately, my body goes right into this physical condition. Oh, Jesus. It's like, it's an amazing, I'm ungrounded. I feel like my stomach is in my chest. I feel like this energy is that I could have heartburn. It's like all the energy that should be in my feet are right up here. And it's like, oh my God. And now my feet are cold. I'm discouraged 24/7. All right, fine. 23 hours out of 24. And they said that something happened to you at 2. All right, if you can't remember what happened at 2, I love you too, James. If you can't remember what happened at 2, understand is that somebody was hysterical and you felt attacked by that energy. And the story in your mind is that now that's how people act. And the disdainfulness is that you have contempt. I can't tolerate people when they act that way. That behavior, oh, please keep your craziness to yourself, hysterical to yourself, really calm down. So there's a part of you that's had enough of that energy. And because the moment they start this, you get completely overwhelmed. And they said when that occurs, then you don't know how to respond except for through ego. And then it becomes this chaos because then you feel deficient that just can't resolve it. It just becomes this endless cycle that goes around and around and around. And then afterwards, you're like, the moment you walk into the room, your body feels awkward and it says, oh, it's going to happen. And there's a part of you like, yeah, I think I gotta go to the store. Didn't you just go? I forgot the milk. Isn't that what's in your hand? I wanted chocolate milk. I mean, there's a whole process that starts to go on without you even being involved. I mean, that's how much your body says, I really don't want this energy. You just had enough. If that makes any sense, please let me know. I feel like you're also mimicking. It's you didn't take them on, you're mimicking. It's not mocking, not the same thing. No. How do I put mimicking in this case is like your body starts to go, oh, they're rocking like I'm rocking right now. And without realizing that you're taking on, because you understand this anxiety, because you know it's coming. You're like, oh, shit. I can see that in their behavior. I can hear it in their voice. And your body then just feels like it's very monotonous. It doesn't know what it's to do. And your body then, the energy goes, whoop, sucks right in. She says, yes, absolutely. Okay, that needs to be addressed and healed. Your heart says, No, but you're trying to figure out how to keep the relationship alive to some degree because it's about love. But you're saying, so your heart is the fear of judgment. The heart says, I can't be confident and I don't want to crush my heart. That's huge. Now, see, I would tell you just to hold L1D because, good God, the heart is a very unique piece because all the rest of the meridians and stuff like this have very unique, like hatred, you know what that is, jealousy, you know what that is. But in this case, the heart is like it talks too fast, or it doesn't know how to, it laughs inappropriately, or it doesn't really know how to, and it's the opposite. And you're, oh, this is probably where I would have you hold mimic, and you don't realize you're mimicking them. Again, it'd be the heart, it'd be L1D. But there's a part of, oh my God, my thoughts just went nuts. So do you obsess? Or does your mind go obsessed when they get obsessed? There's something, because it's just like, phew, just wish they'd shut up. Da, da, da. I hear a lot of self-talk going on. And the energy just whoosh, changes dramatically inside of me. It just feels like they're in energy, their thoughts, their life is invading mine. It's like smacks me. It's like invading. You're like, oh God, get that off. Ooh, and now I just like my nerves. My nerves, I just want to scratch. I want to itch. And then you're thinking to yourself, God, I got to see a doctor. I can't figure this out. There's something wrong with me. What the hell? Okay, you know what? Maybe I have a really bad disease. And your body's saying you have no disease. It can turn into one, but you really don't. Your body is mimicking. Your nerves are like, you don't even know you're doing this. Okay, Celtic weave. All right, you need to go to Medicine Woman, the number 4, the letter U, .weebly, WEBLY.com. I want you to go there, look under healing tools, look at the drop-down menu. You need Celtic weave. You need the hook up. You need the connecting heaven and earth. You need to do Wayne Cook. You got to get the people out of your space. You need to hook up, create your egg to go strong. You need to change we have figure eights in our fields, and you need to balance them so that you're not pulling them in and becoming them. Wayne Cook, you got to get your brain unscrambled so that it can actually, and so you don't have to lose yourself, because what's happening is you're absorbing to some degree by mimicking, and your immune system and every part of you is saying, oh, that's you. Your brain has no difference between whether it's you or a mirror. I want everybody to hear this. Your brain has no idea that I'm talking to you. You do, but your brain thinks it's you. That's why it's good when you tune into somebody that can tell you how to get out of your hells. But if you're tuning into the news and it's all about death, destruction, and impending doom, your brain only thinks that your life is all about impending doom. Do you get this? That's why you got to be careful, because this is food. This is food. So if you're listening to somebody and all they're doing is bitching about, and they're telling you need to what was the quality? You may get off and laugh and think it's funny because you recognize it's familiar, but your brain is saying, oh, this is what we're feeding ourselves. It's just as bad as processed food. Do you understand? Monsanto food. It's just as bad. It's not even just about your own emotions that you feed yourself with and what you're addicted to. Your brain only sees a mirror. It does not know no difference. And that's why it's important you educate yourself, take that self to the new level. That's why I'm all about healing. Education. That's why the classes are coming up. Empowerment through enlightenment helps you get into your life. It helps you understand other people. It helps you figure out how you tick. Learning the glossary about what your soul's saying so that you can become a spiritual human instead of just ego shit. And you're going to be moving in a new timeline, and you may as well take and have everything work for you. Okay, so if nobody else is paid, which I don't see, and again, if my PayPal doesn't tell me, then you need to tell me if you've paid. But we're going to go into the 1-minute reads. So, Amy, do the timestamp and try to take down the people's names and put down the time. Put those seats away, young lady. No, I'm not psychic. I can see her. Okay. First up is Leslie Maltese, Angela Allen, Wendy. Oh, and make sure you write down, we have to make sure we write down Brenda timestamp. I'm just going to read the whole names. And then we got Lori M., Patricia Henson, Robin Marsh, Betty Decker, and then TP, Teresa Perkins. What is that doing there? All right, that's going to confuse me. All right, so Leslie. Now we're going to take it down to the 1 minute. And I'm... Oh, I see. I love that hashtag. That's so good. Michelle Seward says, wow, thank you so much. Okay, so it made sense. That's good. Well, you're ready to heal. You don't need to be physically into that space. Miss Leslie, and timestamp is 2. And here we go. They're saying that you're stuck in an action statement, an action thing. You have to do this. You have to do this. It's stuck in the action. They said 2 years old, you had to learn how to listen to how people talk. And so that means you're anticipating what their moods are, anticipating. What happens then is your first chakra says that I can't think about myself. I have to live in fear. And because I'm repeating this pattern that I have to live in fear, I have to be very prideful about how I do my work because I know that judgment's coming. And then that is just all this habit that affects you insecurely, causes you to feel unworth. How does it show up in your life today is that it has this particular panic, disdain, and you mumble and you feel like you have to bully because you're being bullied. You bully yourself. You put these self-imposed limitations on yourself and you long. Ooh, we have some jealousy because you long for, can't I just have my own freaking breath in space? Does that make any sense? Nicole Byers. Let me explain, sweetheart. Yeah, she's thinking of the old method. We've changed. Spirit keeps changing. If you want a 1 minute free read, then you go to Amy. Can you make sure Nicole Byers has that pass or that, where to send it to? Okay. So the next person is Angela Allen. Spirit, please. Thank you. Love and light. Oh, here's the thing. Okay. The people on the other side, they're saying, hey, you know what? I'm a spirit. They're laughing and giggling because they're very joyful because they feel like your energy is moving. You've said, yes, you're coming along to this new frequency. So your energy body is starting to shift. They're actually very excited so that they can see that you're evolving. So you're coming into the new timeline with the new planet and they love it. They're saying you're not as scared as you thought you would be. You're not as hysterical as you thought you would be. And you're not doing this consciously, but your body's like going, hey, that shift there wasn't all that bad because somehow you had this habit to contract your energy. And for the first time, you begin to feel like you can expand it and you're not going to get it chopped off because this new timeline, this new planet is that we were going through an hourglass. Now we've started to pop out onto the other side. And because we popped out onto the other side, you can feel like you expand your energy. And they're so excited because they says, oh, and stop suppressing and acting mean. So there's a particular, you can look at it whether you act mean or you're suppressing and then you act mean, or if there's a particular behavior, or if you got to bite people's heads off, or you feel like people are doing that to you, you're ready to let that go because it was just a safety mechanism. You don't need it. You're growing. So good job. Next person is Wendy. Wendy says, feeling lonely, rejected, and abandoned. Oh, we have to heal that, Wendy. All right, Wendy. Yes, you feel those things. And I hear that you feel those things because it's monotonous. And you met up with your Arrested Development and you're like, how do I get past it? Okay, so your body then just goes into those emotions that you talked about. And you've gone into, I can't figure it out. I would definitely say, I can't figure it out. Even though I can't figure it out, I would literally tap out that phrase, I can't figure it out, to everything. I can't figure out why I like coffee. It could be that simple. I can't figure out why he's being an asshole. It could be that complicated, but it's your catchphrase, because this is how you come to the conclusion. It's how you survived as a child. It's like, I can't figure it out. And you accepted. Yeah, that's it. I accept that. Muddled instability seems to be that there seems to be anxiety. You got to calm down that emotion because your triple warmer is going off. I would say R3S if you did anything. I'm going to tell you, I want you to take, and there's these points. See, I've been rubbing mine. I bruised it. Your triple warmer's back here. Grab your elbow, grab that whole space, grab underneath, and you're touching your rib cage. And this is called a triple warmer smoothie. And that means you're going to calm down that triple warmer because it's just freaking going off. So then you hold this, and you may have to hold it up for 2 minutes or more. And then you switch sides. Okay? Your body needs a little love. So that's what you need to do. And you can put your hand on your forehead and do the oh my God point. And if you feel those emotions, lonely, rejection, all this, and then put it on the scale from 0 to 10, and then you keep your hand there until it goes down to 0. And then you'll be able to breathe again, think again, and be again. Brenda. Okay, now we're going to make sure. So Brenda Climo, are there any messages from spirit angels or descending masters, ascended masters for me on this blessed day? Good question. Let me pull out. No. Oh, wait, that might work. No. No. You don't like anything there? Then why do we have all these cards? No, seriously. All right, we'll get with the program in a minute. They say, you have a deck. I says, I'm aware of that. Oh, you want a goddess. They want you to get involved, Brenda. I would say ascending masters, but in this case, I feel like you need a goddess. Calling in that feminine energy. And you need to call in Iris, the communication, and to embody that, open up the throat chakra, because that 5th chakra is about how you metabolize and metabolize your life, metabolize the emotions, and metabolize. And when you call in Iris about communication, make sure you call in Ishtar about communion, because when those energies come to very close together, it's about learning how to heal your pillar of strength. Okay? And they said that, just one more? No, just one more. Compassion. Kuan Yin. Compassion. And just call them in, let that energy, communication, communion, and compassion. And then all of a sudden they said that your heart will start to open up for yourself. It's not about, because then you're going to find more of your divine truth, because that's what this gateway is about today. Lori M. Do you see, this must be, do you see I am heading in the right path in the next month as far as love? Okay, first of all, your nerves seems to be a little shot. I feel a little shaky. I feel a little itchy. I feel, good God, I feel. So, Lori M. All right, let's see what they threw on the floor. And about your love life is that you're supposed to retreat. Oh, I hate delivering things, but retreat. They said they want you to retreat from the behavior of feeling discouraged, because it literally causes you to have, what does it do to a relationship? It causes you to feel unrequited love, that you have the love, they don't love you back. And so they're saying if you're holding discouraged, then that can cause this. But it came from when you were in the family issues, that this is what love's supposed to feel like. And they're telling you that when you start to address this, heal this out, take the emotions out, you're going to have new love. And just so you understand, they said retreat. They said unrequited love. Heal your family issues, and about new love. Now, at the same time, we'll give you one more, and about the fact about being on this path, and it is learn about your attraction. If you feel lonely, you're going to attract loneliness energy, and it doesn't mean it'll be with the right person. You'll have to deal with that issue because you'll see it again in that relationship. So make sure when you're putting out this energy that it is a healthy one. Patricia Hinson, my unhealthy relationship with food. Okay. The idea that it's about, I'm thirsty. So first of all, make sure you drink water, but drink water that is like maybe mineralized or with zinc or something, electrolytes. If you don't like the taste of water, certain structured water might be beneficial to you. But the thing is they said that you don't know what the purpose of my life is. And so then you go emotional hunger. So then when you get into different thought patterns, you start to eat. And so then you have an emotion. When you don't know what your purpose is, then you go into panic. Then there's a part of you without realizing you do it. Then they said when you're bored that you start to eat. And then that has to do with because I don't have a purpose. So you're not looking, you don't know what's important to you or what your value is. To find your value, find out what's important to you. And they're saying that you need to address how you feel irrelevant, because that keeps you from your purpose. It keeps you from that. But you're very relevant, but you don't quite get that. Robin Marsh. Does my dad visit me or my grandbabies? Yes, there is. What's interesting is I see a lot of puppy energy. So I see this man standing there on the ground, and then I see this puppy energy. And what the kids see for some reason is this puppy energy. When it comes to being around you, it has to do with you feel up and down. There'll be all of a sudden you'll be thinking something and then you feel down or you feel up. You can kind of feel it with the mood swings. Your chakra, your root chakra, you will start to feel that you long for home. And that is actually a way of saying, hey, I'm here. This is going to sound strange, but that's the only way he knows how to communicate, because you can't hear with love. You can only hear with sadness. So this is a connection that happens. And there's a time when he remembers when you pouted. And what happens when you pouted is you went into ego and then you panicked and you felt like you lost connection with that, and which is, I got it, has to do with when somebody gives you praise and punishment, or if somebody takes their energy away from you, you feel like they're taking the love away to punish you. Okay, this is how you thought as a child. Miss Betty Decker. Friday night, as I was starting to fall asleep, I heard the voice say, Betty. It was in my head, but it was not a voice, I'm assuming they recognize. I don't even know if it was male or female, but was clear. Any insights on that? You're starting to own your own truth, and you don't even know what your own soul sounds like. And they're saying that when you start to connect with your higher self and with your inner spirit guide, we have an inner spirit guide. I know people think, no, you don't. Yeah, you do. And you're starting to connect with that. And so I'm like, is there any fear? No, it is that you've disconnected with that when there was all this confusion. And they said that 15, what happened at 15? You became very incompatible and you had low self-esteem and you felt disapproved of, and it created depression. And you shut that voice off. You shut off you repulsed yourself. And so you shut off that relationship to yourself. Okay, TP. Teresa. She says, oops, shut it off. Okay. Is there any healing help for my mom's wound that she has on her foot, partially amputated? She had for years. She doesn't narrow blood flow in her leg. Oh, there's always things you can do. Chances are you're going to have to work with that magnets and acupuncture points. And the reason I say that is because she has a lot of trapped emotions in there. And she has the trapped emotion of being hysterical, worry, the broadcasts from others, don't step in this direction. She's been used to being bullied, and she holds all that down in that space. You can, if she allows you to sit with her and you don't mind, you could put your hand on her forehead, and you can say to her, "Hey, Mom, let me just hold this for you." Have you ever been bullied? Let her think, even if she don't talk out loud. Or she may tell you a story. You can bring up certain things, because when you feel bullied, you like to restrict, and especially when she was told that she can't move in that direction, is what I feel. Oh, turn it on, Brenda. Energetically, she just can't figure out what direction she's supposed to go, and she's stuck in the oh my God state. She's obsessing. She doesn't know this. What's the right and what's the wrong? She doesn't realize that that's what's happening. Magnetically, I would take it down by her feet, and I would just rub the energy. Now you can mimic yourself back and forth from her. You'd work on yourself and then her, but see, that's where I'm seeing that there's the stuck energy in you. She's got the same thing. She's got that stuck energy in there. That's why I think the similarity is that she, I think she was supposed to pay attention to boys. She was supposed to pay attention to what a man says. She's supposed to, I think she's petrified, and that's probably why she felt like she wasn't there for you. You take the magnet, use both sides of the refrigerator magnet on whatever is remaining there. Go up her leg to her knee, because it's your knees, your ankles, and your tips of your toes. That's really important. And if that energy is stuck in that space, then you can act and do around the ankle. And then you can slowly give a massage. And when I say around the knees, I'm talking about here, okay, and here, because mainly this is the side. And you can get in there. Now, when you have certain issues, then you go down by the ankle, massage, like behind Achilles, my slippers, Achilles heel. Okay, you do certain things. You can rub and get that going. Otherwise, a particular read would be, in fact, right through that slipper one. Okay, so let's see what I have. We have. We're all done. That Nicole, is she still here? Because Nicole Byers, are you still here? Because if you are, I pay attention is what I heard. So Patricia Henson says, "Thanks, Brenda. I think you've got it all absolutely right." And everybody else says, "Thank you." Betty says, "Yes, I survived a suicide attempt at 16. My struggles really started at 15. Oh, wow. Yes. Need to heal that, sweetheart. Yes. And if you have attempted that, what will happen is you will have in your particular, not just your timeline, but in an imprint that says, I wanted to die. And one of the things that, all right, this is important for all of you. Let's just see if I can, yeah. Just a second, and then we'll go. Because then I got to get ready for my shoe. Well, where is it? All right, you take your magnet, and I want you to focus on how you wanted to die. Okay, so you need to literally just focus on it and roll it out good 10 times. To heal that even further, Betty, would be if doing hope therapy. Stop saying that, Brenda. Okay. There's an indifference. You moved yourself into indifference because you could not stop feeling. What couldn't she stop feeling? That she's done something wrong? No, wounded pride. Deficiency. Well, this just goes everywhere, don't it? Oh, we'll have to do a different type of read. Maybe because they're not giving me that information. It's not that it's not available. It just means that there is how do you want to put it? Oh, Nicole, I didn't see that. So we'll see. Just a second. We'll look and see why that didn't work. But anyways, Betty, there's I don't know if I'm supposed to, what I'm supposed to do, a private read or whatever. But the point is that there's a panic. But anyways, all of you start to understand that you can just, there's a picture and there's, okay, we'll have to, wow. Okay. So down the road, apparently I'm going to be doing mental health, just a regular mental health class that has to do with helping you to address certain things, not just emotions, but how to heal certain aspects of that. Okay, so I'm going to look. Nicole. Okay, so Nicole has got the, yes, I've got that money for you to do the 33, so I'll send you in the room. And why didn't her read didn't come up? I'll look in spam. Oh. It doesn't matter. Don't know why it didn't come through. So just kind of, you just want anything? You're welcome, Betty. Nicole, I'll just do a 1 minute read. Ready? And your 1 minute read, unless you have something very specific, has to do with addressing the way you look at how people live their life. I don't know if you compare yourself to their life or what, but there's a way that it's about their do you judge it? No. Okay, just remember, how do we put it? When you're beginning to learn how to, Spirit is trying to say this, to live your life your way, you have to look at your life and listen to Spirit about how you want to live your life, because you can't cheat on somebody else's because they got a different test than you. Okay, you can't come up with the same answers. You can use the catalog of life and you can see how certain people do it, but at the same time, there's this lofty energy, and somebody from the other side says you still feel like that person that died looms around you, and it's like when they were alive, did you feel like somebody was had the strength over you, a lofty energy over you, more superior than you, and kind of told you how to do things? Now, this is a curious one for me, because if that's true, then even though they may have passed, your body still thinks that has to happen, so you have to obey that. And you feel like you have, and they're stuck in your head. And so it's like you go to do something, you're like, oh, that's not how my mother would do it. Or that's not how my family do it. That's not how, oh, listen, so-and-so's in my head. Tell me if that makes any sense, Nicole. That's what I feel. Okay, well, it's that delay. Well, thank you again. And if you want to join me with that meditation, it's going to start in half hour, and we will get prepared. And those that are coming, go get, hopefully you can get in and read. I need you to find 6 stones, whether there are crystals or if they're just regular rocks from the garden. And then I need you to get a glass of water, and so we can bless it and make you more conducent. Not really. Okay. And I'm going to ask Spirit, do they know who? She's not aware. Okay, so you this is the next, hello. This will be your next phase of waking up. This is the things you may not know you need to know. And when you begin to awaken to that next phase, you will begin to know. And then you're going to be able to strip back certain behaviors, certain conditions, and certain things in a way of being. But I feel like you don't realize, but there's a heads up you're getting. Not sure how to explain that, because I usually don't like to give something that people may not be recognizing it, because it'll just make no sense, and I don't want people to feel. I don't want power of suggestion or any of that. just kind of look in your life and see how I can't be something. Oh, I chose not to do that. I can't be myself. I have to do this. Look for the excuse and the reasonings that make you stay in this particular behavior. All right. Remember, watch other videos. Join me to what is this, Monday? Then join me Wednesday. Join me Wednesday. I'll have another show from 10 to, and then after that, I will be off for 2 weeks. So if you plan on wanting me before then, make your appointments so that we can just, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have a phone now, but we go rock climbing, we go this and that. I may not even be where any signal is. So good God, I may do a show. I may not do a show. I may pop on and say hello because I won't have all my goodies with me. We'll see. I have no idea what Spirit's going to do. I just know I have to connect with nature and I need to cleanse myself because I'm always operating in this field with people. Now, resolve to evolve, heal instead of deal. And guess what? You can heal that. Those were always the 3 phrases when I started out. And one of the things I always like to end it with, which is stay blessed.
Stay blessed.
And YouTubers, I love all YouTube. Stay blessed.
Stay blessed.